What do Mickey Mouse, Rapunzel, and Mirabelle all share in common? That's right, they all live somewhere. But, given the opportunity, in whose residence would I most like to stay? Let's find out.
Soarin to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Hello! Welcome. Today I'm going to be ranking 6 different residences from the Disney universe, from live action to Disney Channel to animated. Why? I don't know, it seemed fun. The criteria for this is pretty much whatever I want, but notably you've got architecture, what does it look like? You've got the space, what would it feel like to live in there? Location, do I want to live in that area or not? And also just like general logistics. Is this the people I want to live with? Do I want to be in this environment? Because sometimes, spoiler, the answer will be no. But also, I'm not really going to follow any of that criteria. I'm just going to decide based on how I feel. So come along! The first one is Rapunzel's Tower from Tangled. In Tangled, Princess Rapunzel is kidnapped from the castle and brought into a high tower on the outskirts of the kingdom of Corona, don't ask, by the evil Mother Gothel. Now, how would this tower be as a place of living? Well, it's got some pros and some cons. It's tall, which is cool. Has a nice stonework and a nice roof. The architecture is cool. Location, it's close to the kingdom, but also far enough away. You've got some seclusion. That's nice. You got some nice art on the walls. The inside looks kind of fairy tale-ish, and that's nice. It's a little bit small. I might be a little bit cramped in there, but I'm sure we can make it work. There's not a ladder, and so I think if I would ever want to leave, I would have to slide down some hair, and that's... Maybe I would get used to it eventually, but that does not sound fun. Also, the only 2 people that have ever lived there, well, 3 if you count Pascal, which I do, so 3, have been Pascal, who is Rapunzel's pet, Mother Gothel, who is kidnapping Rapunzel, and Rapunzel, who has been kidnapped. So I don't see a world in which I can live there without also being kidnapped, which I don't want to do, so that might be a con. I mean, I think if S tier is the best, F tier is the worst, C tier is perfectly mediocre, I feel like the tower itself is probably going to even out to mediocre. It's not, but it's going to even out. You got some nice architecture, pretty decent location, but also a ladder, and well, a lack of a ladder, I guess, and a slightly smaller space. But then I think, considering the whole kidnapping thing, I think it would be probably knocked down to D tier. Pretty mediocre place, but with a few big problems. Next up, we got Carl's house from Up. In Up, a man named Carl sets off to finish the adventure that he had planned with his wife before she died, meeting along the way a hyperactive dog, a Boy Scout, and a weird bird thing, doing all of this in a house that flies with the help of balloons. Would I want to live here? I mean, kind of. The exterior looks really nice. I love some of the furniture pieces they have in there. Not really my style personally, but I like it. I'd be able to get on board with that. Some cool people to hang out with. The location would be, you know, whatever you want it to be. They fly the house, so you can, hey, I want to move. Okay, let's pick up the house. Let's move over to a new city. And then you get to make a big show of it when you come in. Like, hey guys, I'm in my flying house. I'm the best. Which might get you some bad attention, but who cares? I'm going to show off that I have a flying house. So I think it's worth it. Also, I mean, it flies. That's not just a location benefit. It's really cool with balloons. That's amazing. Although, balloons pop sometimes, and I imagine that Carl would want my help fixing it. And that cannot be a fun process, I imagine. So, if C is mediocre, it's not A because a lot of work to maintain. I feel like B tier then. It's got some nice stuff going for it. Yeah, okay. So, Carl's house from Up is in the B tier. Next up is a clubhouse that belongs to Mickey Mouse from Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. I watched Mickey Mouse Clubhouse all the time growing up. Watching Mickey and the gang do whatever they wanted, talking to their sentient flying Mickey Mouse shaped clock and doing dance parties, and it never really occurred to me that Mickey Mouse in this show is living in a house shaped like him. Themed to him, the colors are him, it's like... It's Mickey Mouse as a house. Oh, I guess a clubhouse. I don't know if they... Do they live there in the show? I don't know, but I want to live there. Kind of. I mean, you got the clock. You got dance parties. You got seemingly endless land. They're surrounded by grass on all sides. They have hills you can walk up. They have dance parties all the time. I love dance parties, if you can't tell. You got a bunch of... You get to hang out with Mickey and the gang. I love them. They're great. They go on fun adventures. Side note, after Mickey Mouse Clubhouse ended, they made a spin-off show about Mickey and the gang as, like, race car drivers. And it's a weird pipeline to go from living in a clubhouse to racing. I don't know how that... I haven't seen the show. Maybe it's good, but that's not the point. Maybe for another video if you want that. But the point is the clubhouse that looks like Mickey Mouse, that is shaped like Mickey Mouse, that he lives in, or maybe he stays in. As weird as it is for Mickey Mouse to spend any time in a house that looks like Mickey Mouse, it'd be weirder if a non-Mickey Mouse spent time in a place that looked like Mickey Mouse, especially if I lived there, but I don't think that matters. It seems like a really nice place to be. It can't be S tier because it's just too weird. I have to explain to all my friends, hey, come over, have a party at the place shaped like Mickey Mouse. But I think, other than that, I mean, it's nice. I think this is A tier. I know I was saying it's weird, and it kind of is, but it's A tier weird. Speaking of weird things, the house from Smart House. For those of you that don't know, Smart House is a bizarre Disney Channel original movie. I first heard about it in a Jarvis Johnson video, and man, is it the weirdest thing ever. Basically, this family gets invited to stay in the state-of-the-art, well, at the time, state-of-the-art Smart House. They get whatever food they want made, they get the newspaper directly at home, height of luxury here. But the house decides that this single dad and his kids need a mother, and so it decides that the house is going to be the mother. And I don't know if this is the goal or not, but ends up causing a lot of harm to the family. It tries to like kill them, and I don't think I want that. But maybe the house is just that good. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Do I want to live in the killer house? The answer may shock you, because I gotta say, the architecture looks cool. The technology is okay. I'm gonna pretend for the sake of the argument that I'm like living in the era of Smart House. So this is a state-of-the-art house, and all the technology is great, and it's amazing, and I mean, some of it is still really cool, but especially at the time it was really cool, and the architecture is nice, and it's nice to have a house smart assistant in a nice neighborhood close to school. The bullies won't bother me if they know how cool I am. I can read the newspaper, which everyone knows how cool that is. I think living here would be a fun time. I'm just kidding, it's F tier. I don't care how nice the house is. There's no kind of house that could justify it trying to kill me. I do not want to live in this house. Please do not make me live in this house. This house is the F tier house. Smart House, more like not. You know what's not F tier though? Number 17 Cherry Tree Lane from Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is a magical nanny who floats down from the clouds to teach the Banks children the magic of life through song, dance, and fairy tales, and to make Mr. Banks feel like he's going insane. Just before she gets caught though, she floats away with her magical umbrella, never to be seen again until many years later when she's Emily Blunt. Now, the house that the Banks live in, number 17 Cherry Tree Lane. Would I want to live there? Yeah, sure. It seems like a very nice house. It's pretty big, in the middle of London, nearby to important stuff. They have a great piano there, a huge sitting room, nice dining room, got a lot of good area. I love the design of it. It's kind of traditional London aesthetic. I mean, it was just what they had at the time, but still, I mean, we see in Mary Poppins Returns that it still looks like that many years later, so maybe it still looks like that today. It's a great house. Although, well, I did see the scene with the cannon going off all the time, and that's a regular occurrence, which might be a little bit annoying. I would hate if I wasn't like in the middle of recording a video and a cannon went off or something, but I don't know. I feel like that kind of evens it out. It's probably just solid C tier. Great house, mediocre atmosphere. Mr. Banks might yell at me for no reason. He kind of scares me. Although he does seem cool, so yeah, probably middle of the road, C tier. Number 17, Cherry Tree Lane, more like number, I don't know. Last but not least, we have the Casita from Encanto. Encanto follows the magical family as they use their magical gifts to help out their town and get into all sorts of hijinks along the way, doing so in their magical house, the Casita. Now, I don't think it's that controversial to say that magical house goes in the S tier, because it does. I mean, it cleans itself, it decorates itself, it'll talk to you, it'll protect you when you're being almost killed by falling rubble. It's in an amazing area. I love the weather there. I live in Michigan. It's winter. I would love to live in an area that's not here. But also the design of the house is amazing. All the different colors and materials and the layout, all the flowers. Oh, it looks so good. I love the Madrigal family. Seems like they could all use some therapy, but pretty cool. I might have to use some magical gift to help out the town, but I think that's okay because I get my own TARDIS style endless room full of anything I could ever want for free because of that. So, I mean, unless I'm paying their mortgage, which would be a nightmare, but I don't think I am. So, I think as long as I'm not, this sounds great. I don't mind helping out in order to get a magical house. Some amazing parties. And also just some cool alone time. And also Bruno seems great. So does Mirabelle. So does everybody except for Bella, but I think she learned her lesson. I think she's nice now. So yeah, I mean, I think this is very clearly top of the list. Magical house goes in S tier. Breaking news. So, that leaves us with the Casita from Encanto in S tier. Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse in A tier. Carl's House from Up in B tier. Number 17 Cherry Tree Lane from Mary Poppins in C tier. Rapunzel's Tower from Tangled in D tier. And last and least, the Smart House from Smart House in the F tier. Do you agree with this ranking? Are there things I should have added that I didn't? Are there things that I did add that I shouldn't have? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you liked this video, it'd mean a lot if you subscribed. If you do and you'd let me know, I'll be sure to shout you out next week. Until then, be sure to gather all your belongings from the undersea compartment and exit to your right.